Hello everyone and welcome to Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. And this of course is a Friday friendship where we link hands to join our communities together wherever we are in the world and say hello to everyone. So this is a sign of the Friday Friendship Club. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it, whether you're able to watch live or you are indeed watching on the playback. If you are, hello to you as well. So let's have a look at what's coming up today. We have we have part 2 of the series I'm sharing with you on our Friday film footage. Of course, we have Quote Corner, so the quote for Friday. We have also an awesome question of the day today, very good one. Of course, our Friday quiz, completely different subjects each week. So let's see what you know today. And continuing story time. And I think today's story time we'll do a little bit more of the story we were following last week. So if you did check out last week, or I think we started it a few weeks prior, then do go and check those out as well. And this is why I do these little interlude clips for you. So if you're looking for something particular during one of my lives, you can just fast forward and find the bit you want. So for example, my main channel, New Beginnings, my everyday life in rural Cyprus, on the Monday and Wednesday lives on that channel, I do tips and hacks. So if you're interested in that, just look out for the little interlude intro piece for that theme. So that's what I do for you. If there's certain bits you like, if you only like the quiz on the Friday, then of course look for that little interlude and you can fast forward and just find the bits that you're interested in. So let's begin today with Quote Corner, because I don't always do things the same order anyway. So let's begin with Quote Corner for Friday. So did you like that one today? That was quite a fun one for today. And I will be posting new ones very soon. If you like my quotes, then do go and look on this channel. There's a playlist where I do complete videos full of different quotes. So look out for those. I think there's 3, maybe 4 of those. So quotes and sayings. So look out for those. If you like fun, then I do funny videos, funny signs, joke videos. So do check out my playlist for sure on this channel. Okay, let's go on. Today, let's begin with this. So I thought the subject today for our quiz will be farm animals. Oh, a lot of you I know are homesteaders, whether on a big scale or very small scale. So let's see how many questions you can answer. If you're watching this back later, let me know in the comments under this video how many you got right. I'm going to read them all first because then people in the live can type in the answers if they want to do that. If you're just listening, then hello to you. So we've only got 5 questions here, so let's see how many you get. The first question: what is the smallest piglet in a litter called? And it's not just pigs, so dogs are called this as well, maybe other animals as well. So what is the smallest piglet in a litter called? And we don't want pig names. We don't want what you would name it. Okay, question 2. This is an interesting one. I think this is one you either will know or you won't know. How many teats does a goat have? How many teats does a goat have? Ooh, I hope if you've got goats, you know the answer. Do you know the answer if you don't have goats? Question 3. What is the most common kind of sheepdog in the UK? Ooh. What is the most common kind of sheepdog in the UK? And the next question, what is a male pig called? What is a male pig called? And the last question, what is the name for chickens that are kept in small cages? What are the names of chickens kept in small cages? And again, don't give them names such as Peter, Malcolm, Peggy. I don't need that. What is the collective name for chickens that are kept in cages? I'll just have a sip of water and then we'll get to the answers. Okay. So the first question was, what is the smallest piglet in a litter called? And the answer is, I'm sure you got that. The answer is a runt. Yes, and if you forgot, you'll be like, oh, of course it is. I'm sure we all knew that. The second question, how many teats does a goat have? Now, I'm wondering if many people said too many. It's actually only 2. Did you say 4 or maybe 6? Tell me if you got that one right, if you don't have goats. The next question is, what is the most common kind of sheepdog called in the UK? So what is the most common kind of sheepdog in the UK? And it is a border collie. Yes. What is a male pig called? And of course, that's a boar. It's a boar. And the last one was, what is the name for chickens that are kept in cages? And of course, that's battery chickens. So I'm hoping you got 5 out of 5. I'm going to guess if you got any wrong, it was the amount of teats on the goat. So let me know how you did in that one in the comments below. That would be really good. Okay, let's go on to this. And for today's story time, I thought I'd read a little bit more of what I was reading last week, which is a continuing story of somebody who's now an adult, but they grew up in Wallington, Surrey, which is where I had 2 properties. I had one, then I moved to another one. So this is of interest to me. I bought this book purely based on that. And she continues. Occasionally, both grandparents would dress up to the hilt, he with a waxed moustache and smelling of eau de cologne, for a visit to the Grand Theatre in Croydon, or for supper at the Café Royal in the High Street there. They had shaded pink lamps that lit the tables, and waiters in evening dress added to the lustre to birthday treats. Grandmother's death at the age of only 63, following a coronary thrombosis, which resulted in her lying in a coma for 3 months, left a gap in the family which was never filled. She was buried in Bandon Hill Cemetery, where her husband was later buried too, and apparently Mother was led sobbing from the graveside. She never really cease to grieve for the loss of her parents, to whom she was deeply devoted. And here's a picture of the Grand Theatre. South End is the name of the road, Croydon. There's a picture of that there. I'll have to ask Mike if he knows of these buildings, if they were still around, because he didn't live in Croydon, but he knew he was close to the area, knows a lot of places there. John Charles Albert Forsyth was born in London, but went with his family as a boy to live in Banstead, Surrey, where his father became the licensee of the old Tangiers Inn, afterwards burnt down and never replaced. Also the occupant of the adjoining farm. Grandfather went for a few years after leaving school, the Dames School, housed in an old stone dwelling in Woodmanstone Lane, to work in his uncle's timber business, Messrs. Joshua Knights, in London. He then returned to his father's business, which had by this time moved to Wallington. He might have become a steeplechase jockey, for he was a brilliant rider and rode in the trials at Epsom, and in later years he was a keen rider to hounds, possessing some very good hunters. He hunted with the old Surrey fox hounds and the West Surrey stag hounds, but never allowed sport to interfere with his business, which for over 50 years he built up until his name was known all over Surrey. He was also a well-known mason, being the oldest member of the Croydon Lodge of Concord, number 463. Grandfather was essentially a man who lived entirely for his family and the business, seldom taking a holiday and constantly worrying over the state of the country generally, or the misdeeds of his sons in particular. He was a dedicated gardener, and as a child I was quite frightened of picking anything at Normanhurst without permission. He always warned me, only pick the old mint, never the young shoots, a maxim I still bear in mind. That particular garden in Grosvenor Road possessed a number of rather special features, including a huge walnut tree, a large raised-up fish pond full of water lilies and goldfish, an ancient asparagus bed most carefully nurtured, and 2 long greenhouses full of peaches, nectarines, grapes and tomatoes, all in a lovely steamy hot atmosphere. It was a rare treat to be cut a tiny bunch of grapes or given a juicy fragrant peach, and I still recall my grandfather telling me the old fable about the fox and the grapes. All over the inside roofs of greenhouses there trailed the most lovely scented pure white rose that I had ever seen, and have never found the equal since, though I have searched through many a garden catalogue. There was also a large tennis lawn at the side of the house, edged with pergolas of rambling roses, leading up to a spacious wooden summer house where we sometimes had tea. At the far end of the vast kitchen garden there was a cosy potting shed and a very old apple tree whose beautiful gnarled branches were garlanded with mistletoe, an unusual occurrence which has remained in my memory ever since. The conservatory, which led out of the morning room at the back of the house, was another place which I recall with great pleasure, as it was always filled by my grandfather with a fascinating selection of ferns and indoor plants of many kinds, and we children were often given the task of keeping them all watered. So there's a little update on that. I hope that is of interest to you. I love living in past times, information about everyday living. So I'm not into kings and queens or stately homes, that kind of historic thing. I like your normal everyday families and occurrences living there. So okay, let's go on to this. This is my current promotion for a playlist on any channel, but this one today we're going to talk about Cat Diaries. Now this is on this channel in a playlist, but it's also on my other channel, New Beginnings, My Everyday Life in Rural Cyprus. So some cat diaries on this channel in a playlist and some in a playlist on that channel. They don't duplicate. So if you want to see them all, do look over both channels. Okay, so there's a playlist for you to go and check out. As I say, over both my channels, you can see. And the stories in the cat diaries are, it's the cats saying about what they get up to or what happened that day. So it's from the cats' perspectives. And it's always either, I forgot my cat's names now, Pebbles or Fossil, because they were my first two cats. So the other cats come into it, but it's particularly when Mr. Colin Waffles arrived, what happened with that. And you've got their perspective of what happened and why he was called Mr. Colin Waffles. So do look out for that and see what they say is the reason he is called Mr. Colin Waffles. Very strange name for a cat, do you not agree? When the others have such simple names. So that's that. And let's go on now to question of the day. Yes, I have a doozy question for you today. So again, if you're not watching live, do put your answer in the comments below under this video. Okay, this is a doozy. What YouTube channel would you swap your life, your place with for a year? So you have to swap with someone else for a year. Which YouTube channel would you swap with? So if you chose my channel, you would come and live here for a year and swap with me. So I won't be here to help you. Which channel would you swap with for a year? Oh my goodness. I haven't even thought about this. It's got to be like a quite a nice, similar to mine, I would say, like a paradise, as in lots of land, open spaces. Would I want a completely different type of lifestyle to swap with just for a year? In real life, yes. For a YouTube channel, oh, this is a hard one. There is a YouTube channel that I do love where they seem to be living, and without thinking too hard about this, I'm going to say, I probably think of others, but top of my head, I'm going to say I would swap with Little Garden Big Dreams, and that is Kathy in Australia. And she does kind of growing type stuff. That's a lot of her channel. But she moved to what I imagine as a little typical Australian house. Very beautiful, old. I can't remember how old it is. Let me type in the her channel so you can go and look it up. Let's go on comments. Type it in. Little Garden Big Dreams. There. So do go and look at her channel. she, as I say, she grows, and she's done something I would love to do, but we live far too remote to do it. She's started doing like a little stall outside her house to sell stuff. She sells some of her bulbs and produce and seeds and all that stuff. She puts a little stall outside her house, outside her property. And as I say, I love her little property. It's cute. It's, I say small, it's not small, but it's not like a big farmhouse. But I love the age of it. It's got a lovely garden, and she keeps showing on her channel there's like an old station nearby, and I like, it seems to be she's remote but has passing traffic and they can drive to places. Yeah, I'd like to go and potter about in her garden for her and sell stuff on her little stall. That's what I'd like to do. So that's quite a similar lifestyle to me. Let's now pick something that's totally different from mine. Oh gosh, you've got such amazing channels. Whose would I pick? Obviously a completely different country. I'm going to pick for a different lifestyle. I'm going to pick The Astute Tourist. Let me type that in for you. Oh, comments. Let me type it in. Oh. There we go. So I'm going to pick The Astute Tourist, and he's in New Hampshire in America. And I'm going to pick him because he's in a very wooded area. New Hampshire is so beautiful. There's some beautiful landscapes there. He's got a drone, so I would love to use a drone and do footage of drone footage over all the forest. He has done a video of that. It's gone on his channel, and if you can't find it, always ask them. So you've been recommending this video, where is it? And also because he has one of these massive like trailer, camper vans, whatever you call it. And yeah, I'd like to go away in that for a bit and drive all around America and certain areas and go to all the tourist places there. Yeah, so that would be a different lifestyle. He's got a outside bar, tiki bar, so I like that. So that would be a different sort of lifestyle, but again, still quite countrified. And as in Kathy's channel, Little Garden Big Dreams, hers is a completely different country, and she's Australia, and The Astute Tourist is America. Who else? Gosh, I love them all. I'm trying to keep away from growing channels. The Astute Tourist isn't really a growing channel. Oh, I know one. It is a growing channel. Oh, what's it called now? I know. Is it garden or kitchen? I think it's kitchen. All you guys have similar titles. You have garden or kitchen in them. I think I've got this right. My Mountain Home and Kitchen. Now again, she does a lot of growing, but that's not the main focus of her channel. She lives in California, but up in California, and she lives up the mountain, so that's quite me. And she has like her water comes from a stream, so quite rurally in that respect. She goes to lots of charity shops. We don't have that option so much here. Mr. Colin Waffles wants to come up. Oh, there he is. That's Mr. Colin Waffles. Yeah, she goes to lots of charity shops and she makes things and she does crafts. Yeah, so that could be a nice little lifestyle for me. making things, sewing things, all that. Oh, I've got another one now. Go put you down because I need to type. This is another one. This should have been the shout out. This is another one. I would go here because she shows such beautiful places, Tony Rad. And this again is in Woodland. She's North Michigan, but quite rurally, as in there's forest and lakes, and she's always showing such wonderful things. She's got a camper van or trailer, whatever you call it. She has that, and I'm pretty sure if I lived there, I would be her best buddy and be going with her. And she likes finding old cabins in the woods that are abandoned or up for sale, and she shows you those as well. And I'm like, yes. And we often have little chats about if we had money, we would buy them and renovate them, but keep them very traditional as well. So yeah, Tony Rad, I would swap there, and she'd have to leave. She does sewing and crafts and awesome things. So guys, do go check out those 4 channels. I think I'll have to put them also in the title. I'll put them in the title. So they are 4 that I would probably swap with. Who would you swap with? What YouTube channel? Okay, that's the cat, by the way, knocking the desk if you keep wobbling. Let's go on to this. So let's go on to part 2 of where we left this series last week. And this is how we started to renovate a totally derelict old donkey stable on our land. And when I say derelict, there weren't walls. There was one partial wall, not very high, but you'll see. So this is part 2 of our renovation.
We are thanking you in advance for donating and helping us finish our Almost There project. As this series will show, we have already come a long way. Please help us to finish our journey to turn what was once derelict farm buildings into an all-year-round community space, plus self-catering Airbnb accommodation in a rural, relaxing, creative atmosphere. To see more information, plus how to donate, click on the link in the description below. This episode focuses on how the funds and donations will be used. 1. To upgrade our current solar electric system and to connect electricity to our location in order to cope with extra usage of gas, and fit in a relay switch to change to the electricity in winter or when solar drops below usage capacity usage. 2. To supply and fit all plumbing, fitment of a water tank, toilet, shower, hand basin, kitchen sink and all fittings. 3. Kitchen area, purchase and installation of hob and small kitchen unit plus fridge. 4. Digging pits and fittings for eco-friendly wastewater recycling system. This would also help with the watering of our homegrown crops, fruit and olive trees with non-potable water. And we are also well known for upcycling and recycling. 5. Purchase and fitting of solar panels for hot water and pump. 6. Electrics. sockets and lighting in all areas, plus outside lighting. 7. Heating. Purchase and installation of log burner. Wood used will be from our land. It will be the type where you could boil a pot or kettle on top and heat hot water. 8. Doors for the double bedroom and shower room. There will also be a pull-out double bed in our lounge area, so this accommodation will actually sleep. 9. Installation of Wi-Fi. Our house being too far away to use our Wi-Fi connection. Ongoing funding would increase outside and other less essential work, e.g. a larger patio area, planting and other internal additions. To see more, plus how to donate, click on the link in the description below. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video and hope you will visit once completed.
So that was part 2, and there's much more to come. If you haven't already seen the series, I bet you can't guess what we're changing it into. It is not what you could imagine. You could not imagine what it's going to be. I tell you that for sure. So let me know in the comments below if you know. If you guess what it is and you're right, I will know you've already watched the series. I will know that because you could not even begin to guess. So don't forget, we're very rural where we live, and I don't know if that's a help or a hindrance. That's actually a hindrance for your guessing. So, okay, I'm going to finish there today. Thank you so much for watching. As I say, I really do appreciate it, knowing full well that I'm just one tiny speck in the whole of YouTube channels that you could spend your time watching. So for watching me, thank you so much. Don't forget to check out those channels, and I'm going to actually now go and put them in the title of this video. So if you don't get the chat up later and you'll watch it later, or the 4 channels I mentioned will now be in the title of this video. So go and check them out, and don't forget, let them know how you knew of their channels. Until next time, bye for now.